Hello, my name is Elisabeth Davies, and I am a mental health and substance abuse counselor, and I am also the author of Good Things Emotional Healing Journal Addiction. This is a workbook that offers effective strategies, interviewing questions, as well as progress inventories that all help you manage unhealthy habits and compulsive behaviors. Today, I am going to be talking to you about how do we become addicted, what is addiction, how do we stay addicted, and what are some healing treatments that can help us manage it. Most of the information I'm going to be sharing with you today is in the first 7 pages of my book. If you want to follow along, you can purchase my book at my website, goodthingsemotionalhealing.com, or on Amazon, or you can order it from your local bookstore. The first question I want to ask you today as we begin is, what is your goal, your personal goal, regarding managing an unhealthy habit or substance in your life? Is your goal abstinence? Is your goal just to manage it because your addiction might be food or work? So I want you to think about that as we move forward. Let's begin by first defining what an addiction is. In 1956, the American Medical Association defined addiction as a disease. A disease is a condition manifested by distinguishing signs and symptoms that impair normal functioning. Like other chronic diseases, addiction often involves relapse and remission. Without treatment or recovery activities, addiction will progress and worsen, as well as lead to death in some instances. When we chronically pursue a substance or other behavior for reward or relief, despite the negative consequences it is causing in our life with our health, or our relationships, or our finances, and we continue with that substance, that is considered an addiction. Just so that you know, addiction affects more than 140 million Americans in this country. Do you know what the number one addiction is in our country? Food. More than 2/3 of America is overweight, and about 1/3 of Americans are obese, which means more than 30 pounds overweight from compulsively overeating. Do you know what the second most popular addiction in America is? Cigarettes. More than 42 million Americans are addicted to nicotine. I've had my own addictions as well. I was addicted to food before, and I was addicted to cigarettes. I was also addicted to drugs. Third most popular addiction in America is alcohol. About 17.6 million Americans are addicted to alcohol. Let me just take a moment and explain what's the difference between someone using alcohol or someone actually being dependent or addicted to alcohol. If you are drinking more than 3 alcoholic drinks in one day, consistently over time, then that is called an alcohol problem. If you are drinking more than 5 alcohol drinks in one day over time, that is considered alcohol dependence or addiction. The most common abused drug in America is marijuana. 38% of Americans admitted to trying marijuana before. About 16 million Americans admit to consistently using marijuana. In addition to substance addictions, there is also process or behavioral addictions. A behavioral addiction could be considered a sex addiction or a work addiction. More than 40% of Americans work more than 50 hours. Another process addiction would be gambling or pornography. So any type of addiction that you are participating in that is not a substance would be considered a process addiction. The most common addictions now oftentimes are texting and internet addiction, which are technology addictions. Addictions don't just affect adults. Children also can be addicted. The average American child watches about 55 hours of TV in a week. So that is also considered an addiction. Thank you so much for working on your recovery with me today. Until next time, my name is Elisabeth Davies.